So we're ready to carve the last piece of the katana, which is the Mekugi pen. The Mekugi pen is what keeps all the parts that we've carved onto the tang and keeps them from sliding back off. It's essentially what fastens the tang and to the handle and keeps all the fittings on, like I said. So to start off with, we need to know where exactly to place the Mekugi pen, which actually goes all the way through the ska and through the tang as well. And to find that, we just need to use our Ito and our ska and the Fuji. And just as a note, we're doing all of this work, all this marking, on the omote side of the ska, which is the left or outside side of it. And the way an easy way to find it is if you're holding it right-handed up at the top, the side that your thumb is on. Right on this side is the side we're doing our work. So to start off with, the idea is we don't want to place this hole right where the diamond weave wrap is not, conducive. You want it to look nice. You want it to be right in the middle, not kind of off-center of here. So in order to do that, you kind of need to lay out where your wrap's going to go. And this is kind of stylized. This is just a rough outline. But what you need to know is if you stretch out your Ito, make sure your Fuji's on nice and tight up the top. Just snug this up to the top of your Fuji. And make sure that your Ito is stretched as you make your marks, because as we wrap it, it's going to be tight again. And then you're just going to make a mark. And then you're going to stretch it and make another mark, and keep on going. And what you're looking for is you are looking for 3 1/2 open diamonds. Again, the reason why this is not a full diamond is because this is where it starts. The wrapping will start. So this is actually going to be just a band here, and on this side it'll go right into a half diamond on this side and then keep going. But on this side it's just a flat band because that's where it starts. And it's so you have a 1/2 here, a whole open diamond here, and all this is just Ito. That's actually going to be where your Ito is, and these are the open spaces. So you want, like I said, 1, 2, 3 1/2 open diamonds, and in here you just want to find the middle of your ska, as I've done, and then you just want to make sure it's in the middle of these two lines here. So it's going to be right in the middle of this line here, which you've drawn from your Ito. Again, all of these marks are evenly spaced based on your Ito. So basically you're almost giving yourself a crosshair with this line here and your center mark. And right there is where you're going to drill your hole. And you're going to drill it all the way through. So what we need to know now is you want to make sure you have all of your fittings onto your tang. Your tusepa, your abaki, your suba, all those. You want to make sure it's all on there. Kashira at this point obviously doesn't matter. And then once you've marked your hole, you're going to make sure all those fittings, you're just going to squeeze that nice and tight, and then you're just going to drill a hole all the way through both sides of your ska and through your tang, and then you're going to put the pin through there. Now for this hole size, what I'm using is a 3/16 drill bit. That's 3/16 of 1 inch drill bit, and that provides a nicely sized hole. And then to fill this hole for an actually Mekugi pen, you can do two things. You can either buy a 3/16 dowel, which will fit in this hole quite nicely, or you can carve your own, which I've done. Either way works. It's a little bit easier if you buy the dowel pen, but you only need, as you can see, you only need like 1 inch of a dowel. So to buy a whole dowel might be a waste, so you can just carve your own, which is just, again, this is out of the 1/4 inch wood we used, and all I did was round it with my knife and my rasp, and you just make sure it fits in there nice and snug. Two things you want to know, are handy tips. The first is, the reason why I didn't include a drill or a drill bit in the list of materials you're going to need is because I assumed that you would have a neighbor or someone that you know, or a shop class. Someone should have some kind of drill, a drill press, an electric drill, something that will make your life really easy. And the 3/16 drill bit they should have as well. It's pretty common. And if they don't, buying one isn't too expensive either. The other reason why I'm not going to show you drilling it is because, like I said, I use hand tools, And I have to use this little beast. It's a hand auger drill. It's kind of tough to show you the whole thing, but it's essentially I have to take it and spin it around itself several times. Kind of a pain, and I'm not going to show it to you because it takes a while. The other thing I wanted to tell you, besides the reason why I didn't include that in the tools and materials, is the fact that as you're working, when you drill through the other side, what wood has a tendency to do is rip out the other side even with a nice drill bit. Just give you an example here. You can see this is a nice clean hole on this side, but on the other side, see how it kind of ripped out? And if you try and move it around, leaves a nice rough outside edge, which you don't want. So to avoid that on the outside of your ska, what you just want to do is just make sure that you clamp a piece or hold a piece as you're drilling. Just a scrap piece. This is actually the scrap piece I used. You just want to make sure it's nice and tight to the outside as you drill all the way through. And that way, the outside of your scrap piece will have that roughed out outside edge, but you'll have a nice clean round edge here. The other thing you might want to do is, you can see I just drilled straight through my tang, and my tang was kind of loose, so even though I don't have any tear out on this side of the hole, I do have a little bit of tear out on this side, which I can take care of with a little bit of wood filler. So that's okay with me, but if you want to avoid that altogether, all you would do is just make sure that you don't put your tang in here first. Drill your hole all the way through your ska first, with a scrap piece behind it, like I said. And then you just put your tang in, mark your center, or start the hole, start drilling with your drill, pull it out, put a back piece behind that, and then drill all the way through. And that way you don't have that loose edge that'll provide the tear out. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, I carve my Mekugi pens, but you can just buy the pen. And then once you've got it nice and tight in there, this, as you can see, is still too long. I have to cut it down and shape it. But that's it. Once it's done, you've pretty well finished your whole katana. And the kashira, of course, goes on the end. But that's it. You're pretty well done. Congratulations on making your first katana. In the next couple vids, I'm going to show you how to make a sheath for it, a sheath or a saya, and that's very, pretty easy to do as well. It's pretty basic. You've used the techniques before. And then I will also do a couple videos just on fit and finishing, and then also painting, and some other, the handle wrapping, of course, is next. So I'll see you in the next one.